Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
You coming back, I mean, you're not the same wrestler that you were. You're a different wrestler. I think from like the Gabe Kidd match was a different kind of an excellent match. I noticed, you're doing a lot more boxing footwork stuff that you did, and Kota Ibushi did in his matches the last 2 weeks too. And it's just it feels like that there's a different approach that you're taking right now to your wrestling. Is that true?
No, absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that, and it's quite observative actually that you did notice. It's as you said. I feel that in the pursuit of trying to just stay at the same pace that the younger, healthier talent are moving at, I feel in situations like that, I wouldn't be able to stand out, or oppositely, I'd be able to stand out, but I would stand out in a different kind of way, a negative way. That would be the moments where it's like, oh, geez, like Kenny really is much slower. And I try not to bring attention to that. I don't want people to feel scared or sorry for me, or I don't want anyone's opinion of a match to be hampered because I just simply can't move as consistently fast all the time. And it's not just because of the core, it's not just because of the stomach, and that the issues, even though it has been surgically repaired, there are still a number of issues that I'm working through, and it's really day to day. Like if I have a match, and let me think, when was the last match that I've had? I think it was the Anarchy in the Arena, probably.
Yeah. I think
yeah. So even just the Anarchy in the Arena match, it's like a performance like that. And not just the performance itself, but it's the process of having to do those, gigantic weekend shows where you're part of the planning process. There's a lot of meet and greets and stuff like that with executives and all that. In the case that you have to sort out things like, tickets and merchandise and all that, if you have a hand in that, you're working long hours. And it's not just showing up with a little carry case and like, okay, I'll get changed and we'll just head out to the ring and we'll be done. There's a lot more to it, especially on the pay-per-view weekends. So after that, and then this is not meant to scare anybody, but I'll be in bed until like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. for almost an entire week. Special guest may be appearing. Sorry about that. I might be in bed until 5 or 6 for about 5 or 6, 7 days after that. I just don't have the energy. I can't move. And that was the most scary part for me is, again, I want to be reliable. I want to be someone that you can count on. But at the same time, I don't want to push myself beyond the breaking point, because that's how I got to the level of needing the emergency surgery to begin with. And I don't want to do it again if I can avoid it. So yeah, it's there's all sorts of difficulties right now. The big one for me is that I have these, I have adhesions in my stomach, quite a few. And when you're breathing heavy, when you have to use a lot of core, when you have to twist, when you have to stretch, it's the adhesions are binding to my inner organs. They're pulling apart, and it's causing a lot of discomfort. It causes sort of like flu-like symptoms to emerge. Mm-hmm. And so knowing my own limits and being okay that I do have a limit and understanding of that is what's important. And again, I'm also very lucky that I have a boss that's very understanding of that. He's never going to throw me to the wolves and say like, well, I want to see a Kenny Omega match this week and you're under contract, so you better get your ass in the ring. It's never like that. My safety and my health is always paramount to the company and to everyone there, it's great to feel cared about in that regard. So I can sort of take the extra time to get this sorted out as I'm sort of getting back to where I need to be. When things are When I'm feeling great, I feel great. And when I don't, I just don't. And I know I don't have to force, I don't have to go against the grain to get myself there. So going back to your original question, I'm trying to think about like, what can I do to stand out? What is it that I bring to the table that's a little different? Maybe because I have an understanding of how sickness affects me, how injuries affect me. I've been injured through the years, whether it be through wrestling or through the other sports that I've played. I understand how it can hinder body functions, how it may cause you to not move a certain way. And it's a lot of times it's very different than what we've been taught as wrestlers. This is how you sell an arm. This is how you sell a leg. This is how you sell a stomach or a chest or a neck. It's you just do this, and that's it. You've done it. That's how you sell it. And in real life, whether it be if you're playing hockey, for example, which I had a very long career in, or my knee issues, you know what I mean? I've had 4 surgeries on my left knee already. I really have a deep understanding of what it's like when it's difficult to walk, when you can't squat, when you can't lunge, when you can't. So I know how to act and react in a different kind of way. And even though it may not be the conventional wrestler way of doing it, I feel that if you take things that you maybe have an understanding of that maybe the common person does not, or the wrestling fan or the wrestler, that allows you to stick out in a different way and in a positive way too. I think people need to feel what the wrestler feels. I think it helps elevate a match, and I think it helps with becoming invested in a match. And I feel that with how many younger athletes we have in AEW now, especially, and now that we are implementing more of the Lucha Libre style, of course, you're very familiar with the CMLL dudes. They can all move extremely well. That's what they're known for. And they are go, go, go. And what they do is a work of art. It's poetry in motion. Everything they do is beautiful when they are on their game. And if my goal now, coming back from major injuries and this major surgery, was to try to somehow be faster than them, fly higher than them, be more nonstop than them, I would lose, and I would be lost in the shuffle almost immediately, and people would be calling for me to just, Kenny, pack it in. Let's get out of here. You are.
I don't know about that. I think you're being a little hard on yourself.
I'm a little hard on myself.
You're being hard on yourself here.
Yeah. But in my mind, I'm always keeping that in the back of my mind, is I will leave that to them. They are at the top of their game in that field. So what is it that I can do, that I can provide, that the fans won't have seen, earlier on in the night or afterwards? And I think it actually helps to build a more complete card in that way.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notify button, and you'll never miss a video again.